If studying feels painful, it's because you're starting all wrong. You think you need to find this magical source of motivation, this burst of energy to get you through hours of textbooks and notes. But what if I told you that's a complete myth? Studying doesn't require motivation. It requires tricking your brain into forgetting it's even studying in the first place. Stay with me, because this one simple trick, this anti-motivation protocol, is going to completely change how you approach work. We've all been there. You have a huge exam coming up. The textbook is sitting on your desk, staring at you, practically mocking you. The sheer size of it, the amount of information you need to cram into your brain, it feels like a mountain you can't possibly climb. So what do? You procrastinate. You tell yourself, I'll start in 5 minutes. Then 5 minutes becomes an hour. Then you decide you'll just start tomorrow morning, fresh. You're looking for the perfect moment, the perfect mindset, the perfect wave of motivation to carry you through. But that wave rarely comes, and when it does, it crashes pretty quickly. The problem isn't you. It's not that you're lazy or undisciplined. The problem is your approach. You're trying to force your brain into a state of high effort, and your brain, by its very nature, is designed to conserve energy. It sees this huge, daunting task and immediately sends out threat signals. It says, nope, this is too much. It's going to be painful. Let's go do something easier, like scrolling through social media. This is a biological response. It's called psychological reactance. When we feel like our freedom to choose is being threatened, our instinct is to resist. Telling yourself you must study for 3 hours is a direct threat to your brain's desire for autonomy and comfort. So, how do we get around this? We don't fight the brain, we trick it. I want you to try something I call the open sit rule. It's so simple, it almost sounds stupid, but its power is in its simplicity. Here's how it works. The next time you need to study, I want you to do 2 things. First, open your book to the chapter you need to read, or open the document you need to work on. Just get it physically in front of you. Second, set a timer for 20 minutes and just sit there. That's it. That is the entire rule. You have absolutely no obligation to study. You are not allowed to force yourself to read a single word. You are not allowed to feel guilty for not studying. Your only job for those 20 minutes is to sit with the task open in front of you. You can stare at the page, you can daydream, you can think about what you're going to have for dinner. But there are a couple of crucial sub-rules. No phone, no music, no other distractions. It's just you and the textbook. You're creating a void, a space of engineered boredom. Now, you might be thinking, how is sitting and doing nothing for 20 minutes going to help me study for hours? This is where the magic happens. Your brain absolutely hates being inactive and understimulated. It craves engagement. For the first 5 minutes, you might feel a bit of relief. Phew, I don't actually have to study. But then, the boredom starts to creep in. Your brain starts searching for something, anything, to latch onto. And what's right there, conveniently open in front of you? Your work. Staring at a static page becomes more agonizing than actually reading it. Your brain, in its desperate attempt to escape the void of nothingness, will start to wander. It might scan a heading. It might read a sentence. It might look at a diagram. And it does this automatically, without any conscious effort from you. It's not studying. It's just doing something. The brain is choosing the path of least resistance. And in this very specific, controlled environment, the path of least resistance is to engage with the material. Let's break down the psychology behind why this is so effective. First, it completely eliminates that psychological reactance we talked about. By telling yourself, I don't have to study, you remove the threat. There's no pressure, no performance anxiety, no internal battle. You're giving your brain full permission to do nothing. This lowers its defenses. It's like trying to coax a shy animal out of hiding. You don't run at it, shouting. You sit quietly and let it come to you. Second, you are creating momentum from a state of complete rest. The hardest part of any task is starting. The open sit rule makes starting laughably easy. The barrier to entry isn't study for 3 hours. It's sit for 20 minutes. Anyone can do that. It's a task so small and non-threatening that your brain has no reason to resist it. But once you start, even in this passive way, you've already overcome the biggest hurdle. You're no longer at a standstill, you're in motion. An object in motion tends to stay in motion. Here's the twist. What do you think happens when that 20-minute timer goes off? In most cases, you won't even notice it. Or if you do, you'll be annoyed that it interrupted you. Because by that point, your brain, having been tricked into starting, has already found its groove. It's latched onto a concept, it's followed a thread of thought, it's become engaged. The initial friction is gone. The pain of starting has been replaced by the natural curiosity and problem-solving nature of your mind. You will find that you just continue. You don't decide to continue. It just happens. The brain, now engaged, prefers the activity of learning to the boredom of waiting. You've successfully shifted from a state of "I have to do this" to "I am doing this." The mental energy required to keep going is far, far less than the energy required to start from zero. You've bypassed the need for motivation entirely and tapped into your brain's natural inclination to be occupied. You've essentially manufactured a state of flow out of thin air. I want you to think about this as discipline without the friction. True discipline isn't about white-knuckling your way through tasks you hate. That's a recipe for burnout. True, sustainable discipline is about creating systems and habits that make the right choices the easy choices. It's about understanding your own psychology and using it to your advantage, not fighting against it. The 20-minute open sit rule is a perfect example of this. It's a system. It respects your brain's need to avoid threats and conserve energy, but it cleverly channels that same tendency toward productivity. You're not forcing effort. You're creating an environment where effort shows up on its own. The initial goal wasn't to study. The goal was to trick your brain. Once the trick is complete, the studying takes care of itself. You can apply this principle to almost anything you procrastinate on. Hate cleaning your room? Don't tell yourself you have to clean the whole thing. Just tell yourself you have to stand in the room for 10 minutes and do nothing else. You'll find yourself picking up a sock, then a shirt, and before you know it, you're tidying up. Need to write an essay? Don't force yourself to write 1,000 words. Just open a blank document and sit there for 20 minutes. Your fingers will start to itch. You'll type a sentence, then a paragraph, and the momentum will build. This isn't about willpower. It's about brain hacking. It's about designing your actions to work with your mind's natural tendencies, not against them. It's the art of the effortless start. So, the next time you feel that dread, that resistance to starting a big task, I challenge you to try this. Don't fight yourself. Don't go searching for a motivational speech on the internet. Just accept the feeling of not wanting to do it. And then, set a timer for 20 minutes. Open the book and sit. Allow your brain to get bored. Allow it to get curious. And watch as it starts to do the work for you. Not because it has to, but because doing something is infinitely better than doing nothing. Trick your brain first. The effort and the focus will follow. This is how you study for hours, not by forcing it, but by forgetting you're even trying. Thank you so much for watching. If this little brain trick helps you out, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear how it works for you. And for more ways to make your life a little bit easier, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.